What's going on, Jerome? So it's a beautiful Sunday. Firing up another five good questions from our Q&A little section. First up is from Dark Light. Hey, Andy, after the weekend, it's very clear, so after conference championship game weekend, that having a solid run game is necessary to go all the way. I think it's still a quarterback league. As evidenced by, hey, I mean, we were the franchise of running backs for a while, man. Whether it be Chuck Foreman, Robert Smith, especially Adrian Peterson, and during prime Adrian, the Vikings basically just tried to build the team around him. 2012 MVP, won the division a couple times, but just never really got there. And the one NFC title game appearance was with Bert Favre in 2009, right? But I think it's important, especially in big boy playoff football. And I mean, playoff football late in the season, there's probably a good chance that you're going to be playing outdoors, maybe in some bad weather, maybe in cold weather. And I mean, run game travels, man. Same thing with defense. So a defense does still win championships. And yes, it's all about the quarterback and the talisman. And if you need a drive, do you have a guy that has the huevos to put your ass in the end zone? Yes, but also running game is important. Now, I'm not saying that you need to spend up at running back, although I don't mind the idea of paying up for Josh Jacobs. And it's also you can point out that the NFL rushing champion single season rushing champ hasn't won a Super Bowl the same year since 1998, and that was Terrell Davis. I just remember that off the top of my head. Where, yeah, I mean, it's still you throw to run, but you got to be able to run, sort of deal. So the Niners with McCaffrey and company getting things done. Debo, I consider part of the running game as well. Also Brock Purdy. G3, as well as the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, the Chiefs are Mahomes, but that defense is the best that has been during the Andy Reid and Mahomes era. And also, Pacheco running the ball has been great for them as well. Take some pressure off of him. And also, like, if you got to salt things away with a 4-minute drive, or you have a spot where pick up a first down, you win the game, it's good to have that running game, man. All right, so the Vikings got to suture that thing back up. Number 2, Garrett. Chances we can make a big move up in the draft to 1 or 2 for quarterback in the future. If Kirko leaves the free agency, with all that money saved from not paying Kirk $45 million a year, we could sign some good free agents to supplement the lack of draft picks for moving up to go get our guy. And that is one of the largest competitive advantages, is having your starting quarterback on his rookie contract. And the Vikings, I mean, yeah, they will have to warehouse $20.5 million dead for the void year cap hits if Kirk Cousins does leave. But the Vikings, so probably wouldn't be doing business with the Bears. But I think that it'd be tough to get all the way up. I think maybe if New England wants a deal at 3, and they're sort of even on some of the receivers outside of Marvin Harrison Jr., or some of the tackles that they could probably get Fashanu or Fuaga at 11. Could make some sense there. Arizona, I mean, in the specific instance, if it goes, say, Williams, Bears, May, Washington, and New England takes Marvin Harrison Jr. specifically, I think I could see Arizona trading out. I mean, Malik Neighbors is probably pretty close, but they could trade down to 11, maybe get Roma Dunes, maybe get Brian Thomas, maybe get someone of that ilk if they want to go receiver. The Vikings could move up for Jaden Daniels in that spot. But yeah, I could definitely see the Vikings, if Kirk leaves, spending up a little bit more in free agency. Also, especially if Daniil leaves. Plus, if they work out an extension with JJ, it's going to lower his 2024 cap hit precipitously. So they'll have a lot of money to spend in free agency. Next up, speaking of which, Shaq Pak, top 3 free agents on wish list excluding Vikings pending free agents. So there's a couple. Like I gotta go beyond top 3. Justin Matabuke from the Ravens, I think would do wonders for this team, both against the run, both rushing the passer. He had 13 sacks last season, and I loved him at Texas A&M. I thought that he was going to be a premium player right away, and he developed. Like, he certainly came into his own, and certainly deserved that All-Pro love that he got this year. Christian Wilkins of the Dolphins also would bring some stoutness to the interior, plus a connection with Brian Flores. He was his first draft pick. 2019, number 13 overall. Team captain, good against the run. Got some shimmy rushing the passer as well. And then, I mean, I would take Josh Jacobs. Like I fully understand it flies in the face of analytics, but also the report that the Vikings may have been looking to draft Jahmyr Gibbs if he fell to them in the first round. I think that Josh Jacobs had a down year last year. The Raiders had a lot of issues last year, but he's 1 year removed from being first-team All-Pro and leading the league in rushing. He's a true three-down threat, and I think that adding Josh Jacobs would do a lot of great things for this offense. Also, Jalen Johnson, if the Bears are stupid and don't tag or extend him, stealing a true shutdown cover corner would really open things up for the Flores defense. Plus, take him away from a division rival would be great as well. And then lastly, L'Jarius Sneed is certainly up there as well. I'm sure I'm missing a couple. Yeah, Antoine Winfield Jr. would be a dream too. So there's a lot of big names that I want. I need. Gots to have. Oh, Michael Onwenu from the Patriots as well, the offensive lineman. Go ahead. Shoddy Beer. Next season is very important for Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi. There's no guarantee that they get a fourth year. Would they really re-sign Kirk Cousins and draft a first-round quarterback? They could be fired before the rookie quarterback even plays. Well, on one hand, the reports are that they might be looking to extend KOC. Who knows? But on one hand, I feel like drafting a rookie quarterback almost buys you a little bit more time, right? Because now you have a potential future franchise quarterback, and the worst thing for a developing quarterback is regime change, right? Because changing of OC, changing of head coach, changing of GM who didn't draft him, that's bad. And I think that the Wilfs, I think in the back of Wilf's mind, like the seats are kind of warm, and they got to take a step forward. Chalk up 2023 as a mulligan due to the injuries and whatnot, but the division is getting tough, and yeah, you could run back with Kirk, except you got to find a way to find that next dude. And say Kirk leaves, and the Vikings draft a quarterback at 11, or they trade up and take a quarterback, or they even get into the back end of the first round. I actually think that does buy them some time. So, because even if 2024 is a mix of a bridge quarterback and the rookie, I think that ownership would give them at least one more season to try and see this thing through, as opposed to we're going to wash out the GM and head coach and offensive coaches that selected you, and then we're just going to roll the dice that this new regime A actually likes you and B can make it work with you. We'll see. We'll see. Lastly, Elmer Schrock, absolutely love your content, bro. Thank you, especially the draft stuff. I'm getting more interested in the whole draft process. But who do you like best between Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels? Well, win-play show for me. I have Drake May and Caleb Williams really close. Stylistically, they're two completely different quarterbacks. But with Drake May, I still have a couple of jelly bean wagers out that he is the number one overall pick, because I think that teams, Williams is Williams, don't get me wrong, but I think teams will just look at Drake May. They see the 6'5", the strong arm, the mobility, the clutch throws that he's had over the last couple of seasons, and just like, hey, that's the good parts of Josh Allen. That's Justin Herbert, the good parts of his game as well, and we're all in on that. And Caleb Williams is only 6'1". Caleb Williams might even clock in at slightly under that too, since colleges generally inflate heights. But with Williams, you do wonder about the drop-off in his play this year versus last year. Now, Jordan Addison effect, yes, but it felt like USC's defense was so bad that Williams felt like he had to play hero ball. There was a lot of freelancing. There was a lot of playing outside of the system, and you could tell that he was just trying to force the issue. And is that him? Is that a bug, or is that a feature? Like, is that what he's going to be in the league? Or is he going to be the guy from 2022 who made these magical plays off script, who is a better quarterback than Mahomes already? I don't know. But there certainly are some valid questions there. And also, the whole, crying with his mom after the game. Like, some teams may read into that, some may not. Some may say whatever. And Jaden Daniels, I love Jaden Daniels, man. I liked his game at Arizona State, and then when he went to LSU, obviously it took things to a whole new level. Won the Heisman, and the comp between him and the best parts of RG3 of Baylor are certainly there. The mobility is there. You do question some of his decision making whilst running. a little bit, where it seems like sometimes he'll just pass up open throws and then just like literally dive into the pile, just like. He's like an NPC, non-playable character, just like. It's weird, man. But the arm is legit. He's 6'4", and it looks like he weighs like 80 pounds. So frame and durability are going to be concerns at the next level. But he does have arm. He does have accuracy. And I think that if you fully buy into Jayden Daniels and build an offense around his skill set, I think that he could be a lot of fun. He would be a lot of fun, man. All right. So I do like Penix. I do like Nix. I do like McCarthy. Spencer Rattler's kind of growing on me. Like I don't know if I'll ever be fully in with him, but who knows, man. But that's it. That's 5 good questions on this beautiful, wonderful Sunday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.